A pestilence is described not only as an infectious, fatal disease that is widespread, but it is also defined as an evil influence or deliverer. An evil deliverer or an evil influence. It means morally harmful, giving rise to vexation or annoyance, irritating. It is time to close the door. Stop the dialogue, stop the interaction, and close these doors. There are people in your lives that you have given olive branch, every branch you can possibly think of. And they are a person that continues to provoke you. They aim to provoke your spirit. They aim to douse and to just put out the fire that you have for God. They're either trying to challenge you, challenge your knowledge of the Bible, challenge your walk. They wait for you to make a mistake so they can capitalize on it. They are people, individuals that they know what to say to hurt your feelings, to make you aggravated. They're individuals that continue doing certain things that you have asked them not to do, and they repeatedly do it over and over again. They will have understanding of what bothers you, what provokes you, but yet they will repeat it and do it again. No matter how much you hurt, no matter how much you explain yourself, they will at that moment say, I understand, and will repeat it. And the next time they may laugh at you when they do it. They may hurt you and deny that they ever hurt you. They may say and do things that was completely out of line and deny it and say that that's not what happened, making you believe that it was all in your mind. You took it too personally. These are individuals that they may do things that cause a stir, and no matter how much you're trying to let them know it's something you don't like, you give them an opportunity to correct themselves, they continue to do the same things over and over again. This can be a person, you may say, hey, when I'm at work, I really cannot talk, but they will call you at work anyway. And will keep calling you and calling you and calling you and act as if they don't remember the conversation you had, saying, I cannot take calls at work. This is a person that if you loan them your car, you say, can you put gas back in my car? And they will continue. They will say, yes, I understand. And they will bring your car back without gas every time. And you have the conversation over and over and over again. This is a person, you may speak to them about something very, very important and serious in your life, and they have a habit of either downplaying or monopolizing what you say, and you talk about it, and they convey understanding, but they will do it over and over and over again. This is an evil spirit. I know what the medical terms may be for this spirit, and that's fine. But what it is, it's an unclean spirit. It is the pestilence. It's a person that comes, that is sent in your life to bring unrest. Sometimes they have a cycle in which they do this. They may have a cycle of every 30 days to 6 weeks, every 6 weeks, a month to 6 weeks. They can come quarterly. Could be every week, could be every other day, could be once a week. That pestilence can come in any form. But what you have to realize is when you are constantly faced with a situation over and over and over again with another adult that continues to do certain things that brings unrest, that brings anxiety, that brings sadness, that brings just just stress, causes arguments, causes just peace to leave the home. Your day is shot for the day. The pestilence is that person, could be a loved one, that they call you at certain times. And no matter how much you try to have a good conversation, it will always end with them bringing up something that is very painful or sensitive to you. You knew in yourself not to pick up that phone, but you did it because of who it was. And they do something that totally messes up your whole day. And no matter how much you're trying to back out of that conversation or trying to avoid it, they know what to say. Because even without you saying anything, when they realize that they can't get you in a conversation, they will just make a hurtful statement and get off the phone. This is a pestilence. What is the purpose of the pestilence in anybody's life? Really, is to bring peace. It's to take away the peace, to bring anxiety. Okay, to give way to depression. Right? It is sent to take any joy and light out of you. But when especially you are a child of God, this spirit comes to take you off course with God. If it can just inject you with some poison, it knows that at least for maybe half a day or so, you're going to be struggling and you got to pray yourself out of this situation. They have you down for a little while. And the thing with the enemy is that he just comes at specific times and just drop a seed, because each time you won't bounce back. You will not be able to bounce back as quickly. And what's in my heart to tell you is it's time to close the door. Don't even have that dialogue. Don't even have that exchange. Whatever way that you can shut that door, if you can just completely shut it. This is not the time to be playing around with principalities and powers and the rules of the darkness of this world and spiritual wickedness in high places. Mark your calendars. You may be able to see the patterns. It's not just a talk. It's not just an interaction. When these individuals that come up into your life and show up and surface and bring problems and pain and contention, they're described in the Bible as a pestilence. They cause vexation in your spirit, irritation, unrest. They are morally harmful. They're also spiritually harmful. These are individuals that do things and act like they did not do it. They lie. They cause problems. They surface. The pestilence will also surface when you are getting closer and closer to the Lord. Here they come. The pestilence comes. Suddenly they want to be a part of your project. Pestilence can be that phone call you've always wanted and finally you get it. But now you're in this place with God. This is a spirit that brings unrest. This is a spirit that causes you to just, you're going to realize it has a pattern, comes to throw you off course. It shows up at times in your life in which God is getting ready to raise you up and take you to that next level in Him, bringing you closer to Him. The pestilence will show up when you're getting ready to fast. The pestilence will call you when you're getting ready to pray. You'll find that this person will always call you at a specific time when you are getting ready to pray. The pestilence will call you during the times that you're having problems in your home. You'll notice a pattern that the pestilence is always reaching out to you when things are not so good. And so you end up, if you're not wise and discerning, divulging what's going on inside of your house. The pestilence comes to kill, to steal, to destroy, to slow you down, to stall, to halt, to temporarily disable you. And if you keep looking at their face and thinking, oh, this is just, nah. People can make mistakes. People can call you at the wrong time now. That can happen. But this is a person that you will know they have a pattern that causes unrest, hurt, pain, division, strife, arguments, leave you feeling just really empty, leave you feeling really depressed sometimes. You have to pray and praise your way. It takes you a bit to get out of it because you're so hurt. Sometimes you're shedding tears. It takes you back down memory lane. It's time to close the doors. The enemy will use people, even those that's close to you. Could be a friend. The pestilence. A pestilence comes in the form of a person that whenever they come around, everybody knows they need to kind of adjust themselves. Don't be too happy. They'll come to your event and somehow they're in control. You can't be too happy because the pestilence is here. They bring irritation and vexation. They'll do things. You have that friend that is a pestilence. Not a pest, not a person that's just annoying. Not necessarily that. This person comes to destroy. You have the pestilence that at any moment she can say anything. He or she can say anything. Could be your family member. He or she can say anything that hurts your feelings so badly and you just don't have it in you to hurt them back. But they'll come to your events and say something that would embarrass you and change the dynamics. The pestilence come to monopolize. Time to close the doors. We're in times when we cannot allow anything to hinder us from doing the work of God. The problem with many believers is that we don't take things seriously enough. We use our natural rationalization to make excuses for people's consistent behaviors. And then you're wondering why you're down and you're depressed and why you're sad and why you're up and down. Because when God begins to work in you and strengthen you and build you up, yes, he can block, the angels of the Lord can block the pestilence, which when we pray, this happens, right? But sometimes you pick up the phone. Sometimes you're not learning your lessons. There's certain things you have to learn how to face and how to handle and how it's time to swipe right. Let go. Close the door. It's time to close the doors on those that are sent to bring vexation and irritation and moral and to be morally harmful, to be spiritually harmful. It is an unclean spirit. That's not just, that's just something. No, not when it's kind of scheduled. You could almost, they are repetitive. It's repeated. And it's almost like you can almost put it on a calendar when they're going to do this. You can always put it on a calendar when they're going to act up. They act up when there's company. They act up when you are being given attention. They act up that whether they bottom out or whatever, whenever you're fasting, whenever you're praying, whenever you're getting closer with the Lord, whenever you're finally almost getting over them, they show back up in your life again. Whenever you're feeling good about yourself, when you've made peace, sometimes it's just in my spirit to say, sometimes you've made amends and made peace with others in your life, maybe your siblings or something, but this one person is a pestilence. They don't like that. They don't like the family to be together. So that person will come and say something and cause problems and get you upset and make you feel like, well, I know that y'all talked and it seems like everything is good, but it's really not. Let me tell you what they told me. This is a pestilence, and you have to learn to shut it down. Whether it's your mother, whether it's your father, whether it's your great auntie, it's not about, respecting your elders. Of course, you're not going to disrespect them, but there's a way that you can shut that door without ever disrespecting them. Do not allow people to bring filth. Do not allow people to bring dead bodies and corpse. Do not allow people to bring don't allow people to bring the locust and all the stuff into your life through words and through their actions, to eat up what God has put inside of you, to eat up your day, to eat up your moods. Light and dark cannot be together. No. No. We're in the world, but we're not of the world. That means there's certain boundaries that you will have to set. You can't let them in your inner course, in your secret place. You need to catch that pattern. You need to pray against that in the name of Jesus. And in praying also, you need to take practical measures, guys. Be diligent. Be discerning. Ask the Lord to lead you. And close that door.